is up, Notary Nerds? It's your girl, Monica, here because I got an email from one of our longtime Notary Nerds University members. Shout out to Karesha Rainey. Thank you so much for your patience. Karesha has been diligently and patiently trying to get through the DOT Train the Trainer training at Notary Nerds. However, she has run into some glitches that has prevented her from moving forward. She's been emailing me for months about getting these glitches fixed so that she can move forward, and I am just now getting around to it. This is something that I had outsourced and to someone, and they are no longer with me. So I had to take the time and figure out how to resolve it. So it took a little longer than what I would have liked. So anyway, thank you, Karesha, for your patience. So those glitches have been fixed finally. But while I was in there fixing those glitches, I was reminded of how supercalifragilistic this training is. Now, what am I talking about? This DOT Train the Trainer is exclusively available at Notary Nerd University. If you are a member at Notary Nerd University, you have this training, and I highly recommend that you start it if you haven't started it already. And if you're like Karesha and you've started it and you're just waiting on me to fix the glitches are fixed, so now you can move forward. So while I was in there fixing these glitches, I remembered, oh my gosh, this training is everything. One of the glitches was in Module 5. So in Module 5, there is an assessment with each of the modules. There's a total of 18 modules. Why? Because there are 18 subparts to 49 CFR 40, okay? And at Notary Nerds, we don't do the minimum, we go above and beyond. So in our DOT Train the Trainer training, you're going to find questions and tests for all 18 subparts. That is not the case typically, okay? Typically, when you go and you look at training online for specimen collection or Train the Trainer, they're only going to cover that they are required, the minimum, if you will, not at Notary Nerds. So if you are a member at Notary Nerds and you haven't started this training, this is your sign. So at any rate, the assessment is where the challenge was. So I decided to do this video to give you guys a peek, for those of you guys who haven't started the training, into what level of rigor is involved when I talk about Notary Nerds' assessments, right? And for those who don't have this training, this will give you an idea of what the assessments are like. Okay, so this is Subpart E, which is Module 5. And so you log in and you do all of the preliminary work, and then you take the assessment. So here's question 1 of 41. As the collector, who do you contact in the following situation? When a specific time for an employee's test has been scheduled, or the collection site is at an employee's work site and the employee does not appear at the collection site at the scheduled time, contact the blank to determine the appropriate interval within which this person has determined the employee is authorized to arrive. So somebody's supposed to show up. What time frame are they supposed to show up within? Who do you contact to find that out? That is going to be the designated employer representative. Next, true or false? As the collector, ensure that when the employee enters the collection site, you begin the testing process without undue delay. For example, you must not wait because the employee says he or she is not ready or is unable to urinate, or because an authorized employer or employee representative is delayed in arriving. True or false? I believe that that is true. Next question. As a collector, if the employee is also going to take a DOT alcohol test, you must, to the greatest extent practicable, ensure that the blank test is completed first. So I'm going to go with B, drug test. Next question. True or false? Relevant to your answer in number 3, there are some situations in which an exception to this normal practice would be reasonable. One is several people were waiting for the BAT, blood alcohol test, to conduct such other tests, but a drug testing collector in the same facility were free. So is that true or false? So is this one of the scenarios where we can make an exception to the rule? I'm going to say true. Next question. Can you collect by catheterization or other means urine from an unconscious employee to conduct a drug test, or may you catheterize a conscious employee? Yes or no? I'm going to say no. Okay. Number 6. The following are acceptable positive identifications except a photo ID issued by the employer, a photo ID issued by the federal or state government, faxes or photocopies, identification of an employer by an employer representative. I'm going to go with C, faxes or copies. Number 7, who must a collector contact with and verify the identity of the employee who cannot produce positive identification? I'm going to go with the designated employer representative, A. All right. Next. Sorry, my computer just kind of slowed down for a second, so if it was a delay, I apologize. Okay, number 8, true or false? If the employee asks you to provide your identification as a collector, your identification must include your name and your employer's name, but does not have to include your picture, address, or telephone number. I'm going to go with true on that. Next, true or false? As a collector, you need not explain the basic collection procedure to the employee, but just show the employee the instructions on the back of the CCF. Okay, chain of custody form. I'm going to say that is false. Number 10, as a collector, what other things can you direct or allow the employee to do? Select all that apply. You can tell them to remove their outer clothing. You can tell them to leave their garments in any briefcase, purse, or other personal belongings with you or in a mutually agreeable location. Remove other clothing, shirts, pants, dresses, underwear. That doesn't sound right. Empty his or her pockets and display the items in them. You can tell them to keep his or her wallet. Okay, so I think all of those 4 apply, so we'll see. Okay, so number 11. Before, the issue with number 11 was that the only thing that was present was the question, and it didn't allow for you to provide any answers. So I just fixed that. As a collector, what steps must you take before the employee provides the urine specimen? Select all that applies. Okay, so complete step 1 of the CC&F. Tell the employee to wash his or her hands. Okay, select or allow the employee to select an individually wrapped or sealed container from collection kit materials. Okay, direct the employee to go into the room used for urination, provide a specimen of at least 45 mils, not flush the toilet, and return to you with the specimen as soon as they completed the void. Pay careful attention to the employee during the entire collection process to know any conduct that clearly. I think all of these apply. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I haven't studied. Okay, so let's go through it and see. So that was the first glitch that has been fixed. Now you're able to move on through module 5. Question 12: if you detect such conduct of an attempt to bring into the collection site an adulterant or urine substitute, you must require that a collection take place immediately under direct observation. Is this process true or correct? I think she meant to say true or false, so I need to go and fix that. It is not true or correct, though. Let me just see. She might have worded it that way for a reason. Which line of the CCF must a collector note any conduct that clearly indicates an attempt to tamper with specimen? I would say the remarks. Who must be informed in cases of attempts to tamper with a specimen? Whew. The DER and the collection site supervisor. That would be the employer representative and the collection site supervisor. Signs of tampering. You must inspect the specimen for unusual blank presence of foreign objects or material or other signs of tampering if you Unusual color is what I'm going to go with. 16, at least blank how much ml of urine the specimen must have. So 45, okay. What procedure should you follow if the specimen does not contain the required or sufficient, so the shy bladder. 18, true or false, you must discard any excess urine. True. What is the acceptable temperature range of the specimen in Celsius? Blank to 30, I would go with 32. 20, which box must be marked on the CCF if the specimen temperature is within the acceptable range? So yes. If the specimen temperature is outside of the acceptable range, which box must be checked? No. What must a collector conduct with under direct observation if the specimen temperature is outside of the acceptable range? Okay, a new collection. Okay. True or false? In a case where a specimen is collected under direct observation because the temperature being out of range, you must process both the original specimen and the specimen collected using direct observation and send the one set of specimens to the laboratory. No, false. I think that's, you only send the one that was collected under direct observation. Who do you notify in a case where the employee refuses to provide, who do you notify in a case the employee refuses to provide another specimen under direct observation? You don't contact the medical review officer. You contact the DER, designated employer representative. The following are some signs of tampering in a specimen, except unusual color, presence of foreign objects, unusual odor, excessive foaming, pale yellow urine. I think that's the only one that is not correct. Okay, direct observation collection. True or false? As an employer, you must direct an immediate collection under direct observation with no advance notice to the employee. If the laboratory reported to the MRO that a specimen is invalid and the MRO reported to you that there is not adequate medical explanation for the result. I'm going to go with true on that one. 27, true or false? As an employer, you must direct an immediate collection under direct observation with no advance notice to the employee. If the laboratory reported to the MRO that the specimen was positive dilute with a creatine concentration greater than or equal to 2, but less than or equal to 5, and the MRO reported the specimen to you as negative dilute, and that a second collection must take place under observation. So I'm going to say false, because I have no idea what that means. Okay, true or false? As an employer, you must direct a collection under direct observation of an employee if the drug test is a return to duty test or a follow-up test. Ooh, true. Next, 29. Which of the following are true as to when a collector completes a new CCF for the directly observed collection? Select all of the apply. Okay, so mark the reason for the test. Block step 1, the same as for the first collection. Check the observed, enter remark box, and enter the reason in the remarks, or mark yes on the CCNF. Not having studied this, I don't know. I'm gonna guess. Oh, okay. Ooh, this is hard. As a collector, you must never permit an opposite gender person to act as the observer. The observer can be a different person from the collector and need not be a qualified collector. Ooh. Oh gosh, I have no idea. Let's see. False? True? I don't know. Okay. 31. The following are responsibilities of an observer, except request the employee to raise their shirt, watch the employee urinate. Okay, so I don't know about the request to raise your shirt. That already sounds weird. And then as both the collector and the observer, you need not follow all the procedures. That's completely wrong. I'm going to go with that one. I don't know. True or false? As the collector, when someone else has acted as the observer, you must include the observer's name in the remarks. True. I'm going to probably fail this. Fill in the blank. As the employee, if you decline to allow a directly observed collection required or permitted under this section to occur, this is a blank to test. If you decline to allow this is a refusal to test. That's what that is. 35, fill in the blank. As a service agent, when you learn that a directly observed collection should have been collected but was not, you must inform the blank that it must direct the employee to have an immediate recollection under direct employer. That's 34. 35. How is a monitored collection conducted? Ooh. As the collector, you must secure the room being used for the monitor collection so that no one except the employee and the monitor can enter it until after the collection has been completed. As the monitor, you must not watch the employee urinate in the, as the employee being tested, you can decline to permit a collector, I'm going to go with A. I don't know. I'm pretty much sure I'm going to fail this. Okay, fill in the blank. All collections under DOT agency drug testing regulations must be blank, blank collections. I'm going to go with A, primary specimen collections. 37. How does the collector prepare the specimens? Fill in the blank. You as a collector, not the employee, must first pour at least blank mils of urine from the collection container into one specimen bottle to be used for the primary specimen. I want to say 30 mils because you got to get 45. So I'm thinking the first specimen needs to be at least 30, and that other one that will be the other 15. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Fill in the blank. You as a collector, not the employee, must then pour at least blank. That would be the 15. And then 39, you as a collector, not the employee, must then write blank on the tamper-evident bottle seals. Write the date, okay? Whew. How is the collection process completed? Fill in the blank. As the collector, direct the employee to blank and blank, the certification statement. I'm going to go read and sign. Okay, and finally, question number 41. The following are correct in completing the collection process except remove, place the specimen bottles, seal the container as appropriate, ensure that all copies, okay, oh gosh, ensure that all copies, yep, remove copy 5, and give it, yep, place the specimen bottles in the appropriate patches of the plastic bag, I think that is it. Okay, submit. What do you guys think? Okay, drop it in the chat. You tell me what you guys think. I'm not going to submit on this video, but I'll let you know in a part 2 what I got. Tell me what you think. Bye.